Hello, welcome to my mother's art. We're doing another book review and I've only read one a week since the last video I posted, so I've only got 4 books I've read, but I also have one book that I'm starting and I already have formed a slight opinion about it, so we're gonna get into it because it's an interesting mix. Like, it's not a boring bunch of books, you know? So first one, Madame Borova by Ruth Hogan. Mixed opinions, very big mixed opinions if I'm being completely honest with you. I was drawn to this because of how it looked. It was one of those books in the bookstore where I was like, that looks interesting, let me pick it up, which doesn't happen often. And I picked it up and I read on the back it was about a tarot reader, palmist and clairvoyant. She's the main character and I'm a tarot reader, if you don't know that. That's my main source of income, my main job. And I was like, it's a sign, it's for me, I've got to pick it up, I've got to pick it up. So I picked it up and I got it, and I don't know how to put this. The initial storyline is that Madame Borova, who is the tarot reader, we learn about her past. And then in the present day, there's another main character, a 40-year-old woman called Billy. At this point, Madame Borova is in like her 70s or something. And Billy doesn't know who her mum is, and she goes to find out who her mum is. And that happens to be where Madame Borova is, and they're kind of like linked. Like their paths and their storylines are linked. That story in itself is so unclear to me from the blurb, and I didn't know that that was what it was about. It just says, Madame Borova, tarot reader, palmist and clairvoyant, is retiring. After 50 years of other people's secrets and lives, she's leaving her booth on the Brighton seafront. But before she does, she has to fulfill a promise she made a long time ago. In London, another woman is making a fresh start. Billy has lost her job, her marriage and her place in the world. Finding that place again will lead her straight to Madame Borova's door to unlock events stretching back to the magical world of the 1970s holiday camp, seaside entertainers, eccentrics, heroes and villains, and a love story which will last through time. Like, that blurb is so misleading to me. It's so misleading. And I know as a writer, when you go to pitch your stories, you kind of have to give this very vague kind of, oh, there's a word for it and I'm forgetting it and I can't remember what it is, but you have to give some sort of like vague paragraph about the book, and it feels like they put that vague paragraph on the back because that's the vaguest thing ever. Like, it's just told you where it is and their names, and even when it says Billy has lost her job, her marriage and her place in the world, we don't see that. We don't see her lose her place. We kind of already meet her where she is, and so I feel like mentioning that is kind of stupid. Like, anyways, let's get into the actual opinion of the fucking book. The first half is so hard to read for me. It felt like there were too many characters, and like each character had like several nicknames, and it was just so confusing and all over the place, and I couldn't really tell what was going on or the significance of anything that was going on. Even after finishing the book, I couldn't understand the significance of some of the things in the beginning. It was just very hard for me to follow, which is, you know, each to their own. If someone else picked this up, they'd probably find it really easy and I'm just fucking stupid, which is fine. But saying that, once I reached the halfway mark, it was very easy to read. The second half of this book, I wish was it. I wish that they'd cut off the first half and it was just the second half. The second half had me turning the page. It had me turning the page, and this is why I do not DNF books, because that always is a possibility where the second half is better, and it was in this case. The second half of this book is incredible, and I wouldn't say it's like the most amazing book ever. Like, is it Picture of Dorian Gray? No, it isn't. But did I thoroughly enjoy it? Yes, I did. The second half of this book should be a movie. I would watch it and I would cry. It made me cry. The end of this book is fucking sad, okay? So, is it worth reading? Yes. Would I just skip to like the halfway point and read from there because you don't need the first half? Absolutely. So, I would give it a 4 out of 5 because the ending was so good, as in like the second half, but the beginning just didn't need to be there. It was just too much. Like, she could have eased us into the story, one, a lot quicker, two, a lot simpler. So take that as you will. Do I still recommend it? Yes, I do. I love the ending. It made me cry. I've already said that though. Then I read The Little Book of Chanel by Emma Baxter Wright. If you don't know, I'm collecting these books. I love fashion. I have family in fashion, and my sister's like a little fashionista. She would hate me if I said that, but it's true. And I, just as a human, love fashion, if you can't tell. Me sat here in a fucking Brandy Melville tank top. And like stained trousers. Anyways, I already have The Little Book of Dior, which was very cute, but I think I preferred this one. But I'd give them the same 4 out of 5, just because like they're so enjoyable. Like, they're just so cute, and they're not, I don't think it's right to judge them as actual books, if that makes sense. They feel more like picture books and coffee table books, and coffee table books are kind of there to just look pretty and look interesting. That doesn't mean that I don't like what's inside them. I do. I love reading the history about these things. I always find them so interesting. But it's about, like, you can't write fact in a super exciting way. At least not to me, you can't. Because to me, you can only just say the facts, right? It's obviously very small as well. So it's kind of just like a very cute picture slash coffee table slash facts book. You know, it's not like a, oh wow, I'm captured by this story, let me flip every page. Obviously, because it's fucking non-fiction. But I still enjoy it. And look, I think it's beautiful. I love the design of these fucking books. Will I be getting the Little Book of Prada? Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Especially because these companies don't benefit from me buying them, so. Oh my god. Oh my god. Next book. Don't even talk to me about it. Don't do it. I'm fucking fragile. Stop. Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. When I heard Ali Hazelwood had another book coming out, what did I do? I ran. I didn't walk, I ran. The Love Hypothesis left me speechless. I love that fucking book. Someone once made like a thread on Twitter where it was like romance novels and their questionable lines as warnings, so you shouldn't read them. And it was a bunch of fucking shit like Colleen Hoover and shit like that. But they had the audacity to add the Love Hypothesis. There was a line, obviously, listen, sex scenes are always going to be cringy because you're not in the sex scene, okay? They're always going to be cringy, whether it's on a TV show, on a movie, in a book, it doesn't matter, it's going to be cringy. Some, more than others, are going to write it worse. Ali Hazelwood, in my opinion, is nothing close to how Colleen Hoover writes her shit, okay? Nothing fucking, not close at all. So to that person, please fucking remove Ali Hazelwood from that thread. Thank you. And I know there's a particular there's a particular line in this that I know I think I've already seen it once on TikTok, that I know people are going to point out. It's just cringy. It's not questionable or offensive, it's just cringy. And it's during a sex scene. So I'm like, it didn't faze me, okay? It didn't faze me at all. Like, after you read Colleen Hoover's, I haven't read her books, but after you read the lines that people are posting, you never need to pick up her book. You just never need to. Because it's not just cringy sex scene lines, it's, I don't even want to repeat the words. They're horrible, they're just horrible. And also, let's not even get me started, please, because I will start to hate on this woman. It's just so much romanticized. Why can I not speak today? Mercury retrograde, I swear. It's romanticizing abusive relationships. Or at least the fans of her books do. But anyways, fuck that bitch. I'm talking about Ali Hazelwood and B and Levi. I love them so much. Listen, I love this book. Was it as good as The Love Hypothesis? No. The Love Hypothesis has such a beautiful place in my heart. This one, the location kind of threw me off a bit. I feel like when it's set in gloomy America, it throws me off. Like, you're either super like cute little town, city America, one or the other, or you're like full on Twilight gloomy. Do you know what I mean? There's no in between, and this kind of felt like an in between. I felt like it was never sunny in this book. Not because she mentions the weather once, she doesn't, but that was just the vibes it gave. And also most of it took place in the workplace, which was really depressing. Like this, like, I know it was the same in the Love Hypothesis, but the Love Hypothesis workplace wasn't as depressing as this workplace. And she got more dramatic with this one, I feel. Like at the end, there's, I'm not gonna spoil it, but there's just like something that happens that's a bit like, it's a book, but at the same time, would this really happen? I'm not so sure. Do you know what I mean? Like the Love Hypothesis was just perfect. It was perfect. It was just every trope met at the perfect place. Ah! I just love the Love Hypothesis so much. I'm literally foaming at the fucking mouth. Guys, don't make me start thinking about Adam because the no other fictional man. Oh my god. He makes me feel some type of... But did I love the characters of this book? Yes, I did. Levi especially. Levi, I love my baby. He's so sweet. He's such a pure angel. And I just want to kiss him. You know? B, the main female character, wasn't insufferable. I'll give you that. Like, if you've read a Tessa Moshfegh, that's fucking insufferable female characters. She wasn't insufferable at all. She was just a bit clueless and dumb. And I don't like that. Like, where is the empowering, strong brain women? Slay! She's supposed to be a scientist. Where's the smarts? Where's the smarts? The actual plot of this book is the initial exact same plot of the Love Hypothesis, in the sense of women in STEM falling in love with guy who has pined over her for years and she doesn't know it. It's the exact same plot line, just a different location, different people, different workplace, but the same line of work. And so it's just kind of like, you know, it's like the same thing, which is probably why I enjoyed it. But I did love the characters. I think they were very sweet. Also, we've got some lovely gay rep in this one. I think we had gay rep in the first one too, didn't we? Anyways, slay, gay rep, lesbian rep, woo. I just think it was fun. I think it was cringy at some parts, but it was so fun, mostly. Also, I really hate how they've made him look. Like, why are his ears bigger than his face? It's ugly. This is not my Levi. My Levi is hot and sexy. And like, even the guy, like Adam, on the Love Hypothesis cover is ugly as shit. He just has an ugly expression on his face. She needs, like, the actual art is cute and the girls are cute. Just make the men actually look hot and I'll believe you, you know? But anyways, 4 out of 5. I love my Ali Hazelwood. I love her. I love it. It makes me happy. And then I read this fucker. It was a lot. It's called A History of Magic, Witchcraft and the Occult by Susanna Lipscomb. It was good. I actually enjoyed it. If you don't know, like I said, I'm a tarot reader, so like shit like witchcraft, I'm into it. This is actually my mum's and I stole it, and the next book that I'm actually reading is also my mum's and I stole it. But again, it's a book about facts, but it's more interesting to me than the Chanel shit because that's so small and this goes into a lot of depth. Again, a lot of it I knew and a lot of it I didn't, so I'd say 50%. Like the end half of this, I'd say I knew most of it. The first half, it was a lot of history and it's very cool to learn for me, but I didn't know it, so that's even better, to be honest. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was very interesting, and I think like beginners in witchcraft, tarot readers, shit like that, like you should read shit like this, you know, educate yourself a little bit on what you're into. And it was fun. Again, 4 out of 5. I don't really have anything to say about it. I just like, I find it hard to give things 5 out of 5 because it's kind of like, what made you that, you know, like there's something that has to make it that good, like Just Kids and Call Me By Your Name. But I've just realized that everything here that I read is 4 out of 5, but that means it was a good reading month. and I'm happy about that. The next book that I'm going to read is You Can Heal Your Life by Louise L. Hay. I can already tell this is going to make me want to kill myself. The reason I know this is going to be conflicting is because all self-help books are. I already know this is either going to be a 3 out of 5 or less. Because self-help books like this, where they come off as spiritual, don't work. It just doesn't work for me. And a lot of them are the same. I find it very hard to find self-help books these days that are different. I think the best ones, I say this in every video just in case new people come across me, the best self-help books are Stay Alive by Matt Haig, The Body Keeps the Score by something Van der Kolk. I forgot his first name, Van der Kolk. Those two are the best. The Body Keeps the Score talks about how you can do things to get trauma out of your body, like physically get it out of your body, and it's very depressing, and it should have many trigger warnings because he's an actual doctor and he talks about some of his patients' stories, and they're very, very, very concerning. So just, you know, be cautious when reading it. But it was the most interesting one, and it was a relief to see a doctor say, you know, creative shit helps the human, you know. And Stay Alive, again, quite depressing, not as depressing but depressing. It's about Matt Haig's actual attempt at suicide and what kept him here on this planet. It helped me. And also Matt Haig's a great writer in my opinion. Fuck everyone on TikTok who says they hate it. Fuck you, I love Matt Haig. Matt Haig Stan until the end. But those are just the best because they were just raw and real. They came from real experiences, and every other one who calls himself a doctor and then writes shit is just like the same, just gives the same advice. Oh, and the other one would be Untamed by Glennon Doyle. That was a brilliant book as well. Brilliant self-help book, especially for women. It talks about being queer, it talks about being a woman, talks about being a mother, talks about being religious or spiritual. It touched on everything in such a beautiful way, and it felt like I was reading a fiction book. But it was about her life as well, and I feel like that approach at self-help is so much better and helpful for people, at least for me. So those 3 books are my always go-to self-help books. They genuinely help. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think I read something from this that my mum showed me, and I was like, I don't really believe that, but okay. But then like there are other bits where I'm like, yeah, that's true. So it will be interesting. I think in here they have a bunch of affirmations and things like that, and you know what, I'm at a point in my life where I need affirmations. Like I feel like everything's sinking around me. Like it's been worse, but it's also been so much better. So it's just like, this is probably gonna help me out of a slump in my Mercury retrograde bullshit that I'm going through. So I'm happy to read it, and kind of hate the cover. So I'm already kind of 50-50 on this book, but come back to my next review video. I would have finished this and several other books probably, and we'll talk about it. We'll see where I stand on it for sure. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you have a great day / week wherever time you were watching this. I love you very much, and I hope to see you in my next video.